I guess there's something about what they say about that old adage. Good things come to those who wait. Greetings, Dave here, DCB Effects. I want to talk quickly, and I've talked about this before. I had another video where, people said, yeah, you're a Batman fan. I said, no, I like Robin. Robin, as I've said before, became Nightwing. This is the animated series. This is from the Batman animated series. So when the character of Robin becomes Nightwing in season 3, I believe. And I've been a big fan of the character since, well, I've been a fan of Robin since the 70s. As I said that before. And then in the early 80s, we had the new Teen Titans, George Perez, Marv Wolfman, and Robin eventually becomes Nightwing in 1984 in the Judas Contract. And for a long time, he's been that character that, well, it is what it is. Even in, he was a good character, but he wasn't perfect. He wasn't Batman perfect. I remember back when they were talking about bringing the series out, and this is around 90... See, I had my house, so it was around 94, 95. There was talk about bringing out a Nightwing series. And I actually am in the letter column for the first issue. I said, don't screw it up, or we'll go back to reading our old stuff. Because at that point, you had, Dick Grayson, who was a very capable character in the Titans. He was, he was the one that the Terminator, Destro, couldn't stop, in Judas Contract, and he's the one that Brother Blood couldn't stop, and all these other things. Great character. Get him in the Batman books. At one point, there's a, oops, Arkham, everyone got let loose. Sorry about that, Batman. He was being made a bit of a tool because, well, Batman's perfect, and obviously his junior partner can't be. So I just said, don't screw it up. And, well, his series ran for, 130 issues? And then New 52 happened, and we won't talk about that. That was garbage. And the character was really all over the place. And then even 3 years ago, they had the whole Rick Grayson shot in the head, I don't know who I am, mimicking the death of Superman. Even before that, we had, with, what was it, Villains Unleashed, anyway, the Earth. Well, anyway, I can't even remember it because it's just so not memorable, where he had to basically disappear and he became Agent 37 of Spiral, Dick Grayson, whatever. Finally back to Nightwing, and Nightwing's been a good character, he always has been, and, well, in my books. I look at someone who's owned Nightwing dossier since the 90s, and still have it. Anyway, he was a character that they sort of, yeah, he's got his bookies off in the corner, he's fine. The last year or so, I don't know what's going on, which I'm loving as a Nightwing fan. Recently there's been a crossover, with the huge push to push John Kent as the Superman. No. They're making it out, so here's the team. So you had Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne, the world's finest. And then they're sort of pushing it out, so you have John Kent and Dick Grayson. And they then wrote a little thing to sort of bring it together. When John first learned he could fly, he disappeared, and Batman found him, and he was going to get him. And Robin said, hang on a sec, Dick Grayson, Robin, I got this, and brought John out. And then Clark disappears to go do War World, so John's Superman on his own. This is all out there in the comics right now, so it's not really spoilery unless you're not reading. And Clark asked Dick to look out for John, so that you have that whole Nightwing and Superman thing still going on. But you have that, so there's a great crossover between Nightwing and then Superman, son of Kal-El. And now we have a great crossover. It just came out this week with Nightwing and Flash, and they've been friends forever. If you go back, issue 1 of New Teen Titans, they were friends. And even you did this. Well, they both walked away from their respective identities just before the Judas Contract. They've been buddies forever. And there's some really great stories over the years of, Nightwing and Flash, or Kid Flash, or whatever. And now they're back at it again. It's so great to see that the character's finally into the spotlight again. I think it could be because it sort of bridges that whole gap. Because a lot of the books that DC's putting out are crap. And they're just pushing more and more and more and more and more and more Bat books out there. This sort of bridges the two. It's a Bat book, but not really a bad book. And we have more focus on the characters now because Alfred Pennyworth died. If you read the comics, he was killed. And he left a sizable fortune to Dick because he said in the letter, you know, I know you're a good man, you know what to do with this. So it's billions. So they sort of flipped the dichotomy a little bit, or flipped the whole, I guess, best way of putting it, how it was, you know, the status quo, so that Bruce was rich and Dick was okay. Even in the original comic, in the original Nightwing comic in the 90s, he was rich because Lucius Fox was in charge of his parents' thing after his parents died, and he had a lot of money in order to do his Nightwinging. He bought a whole building in Bloodhaven, Bloodhaven, so that he had it for all his stuff. But, you know, he's got billions now, and Bruce Wayne is not rich at all. So Bruce is sort of, you know, not hat in hand yet, but, you know, having problems with it. So, to me, as a close to lifelong fan, because New Teen Titans came out when I was 13, and I liked Robin before that. I liked Robin in, you know, the earlier things. And if you're watching the Super Friends, I was like Robin better than Batman, and Batman and Robin. To see the character finally, after all these years, because he was introduced back in the 40s. So all these years, he's finally, you know, he's hit his stride. He's the character that everyone wants. I was recently reading some Superman, some of the Obsidian Age, when the Justice League is back in time, and Dick Grayson's put in charge of the new Justice League in order to find them, and he's a very, very, very capable job. And he asked Batman why. Well, I knew they listened to you because, you know, you're Nightwing, you're who you are. So for me, in this day and age, I'm really enjoying reading these. I'm not buying them because they're crap, and also at $5 pop or whatever, I'm not gonna. But there are places to read online. I've been doing that, and it's been really a lot of fun. So if you're like me and you're a Nightwing fan, check out what's going on in the last little while. There's some really good stuff coming down the pipes, and I've really been enjoying it. It makes me think I want to start getting some more 3D stuff going on, maybe get some Nightwing stuff going on. I love his Escrimas with the firing stuff. Not that Escrimas are hard to make, but I can make some with some lights in it. Maybe I can add to my Star-Lord cosplay and make a Nightwing cosplay, because really these days it's not just tights, it's tights with armor. And I was realizing, as I was talking with another friend, someone who found me online and was asking about some of the things I've been making, I said, I can't do tights. I'm almost 55. Not going to happen. But, you know, armor would be good. Something to cover some of this. Maybe I'll do that. I'll look into that. So that's the video for today. Hope everyone's having a great day. We'll talk to you all